A few moments later.
Okay.
Everything
There we are.
aligned.
We're the same height and everything.
Yeah.
How tall are you? I heard you are tall.
No, I'm not. I'm not that tall. I think I'm 182.
Oh, I'm 183.
Oh, so
Actually,
we're
probably
pretty much the
180.
same height.
Probably 182 since I'm older now. I probably shrunk a little. Okay, I've got something to say to you.
Okay.
Hey, Vorden Gadet. Hey, Vorden Gadet. No?
I think it's pronounced Hi, hvordan går det?
Hi, Vorden Gode. My Siri was really bad.
Det går godt.
It's all good. Yeah. Oh, it's great of you to take the time to get together, mate. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Great to hear from you.
Yeah.
After all
Thanks
this
for having
time.
me.
I think we've known each other for like 3 years now. Online here.
Something around that, yeah.
Yeah. So I had something very exciting. On your feed, you have a little announcement to make soon, maybe. You won't be doing it here, obviously, but something very special for you, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now,
Nice.
professionally and privately. So
Yeah.
so yeah, a lot of stuff. I've been playing a lot of shows.
Yeah,
Been playing a lot of shows, collaborating with local talented classical musicians.
Classical as in what sort of classical?
Like classically trained musicians from an ensemble. They reached out to me and asked if I want to do a collaboration, like with lo-fi and classical music. So try to make this kind of a clash between the two types of music. And I had all these insanely talented classical musicians learn my jazzy lo-fi tunes. And
did you have to notate them and everything for them so they could?
Nope. I had them do it by ear because it was sort of a challenge for them, because they're not used to that at all. When you just play a piece of music for like a classically trained musician who's on that level, they go like, oh no, I gotta note everything down, and
that's it.
So it was very cool challenge to try to work with these musicians to actually break free from those boundaries they've set for they usually play within, and have them improvise over some more jazzy stuff. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds brilliant.
And
isn't it great to have some sort of string ensemble behind you? Amazing it would sound, especially your own tunes.
Yeah, it was actually 5 brass players.
Oh, brass.
So five brass players who learned all the licks.
The Flugelhorn.
Yeah, one of those.
I love that. I love that word. The Flugelhorn.
Yes. So I did a concert with those guys, and I did a concert with some other guys here from Denmark who are also producers, but we got together and made like a lo-fi band and played each other's tunes.
What did you call each other? What did you call the band?
We didn't even call the band anything. It was for one of the guys the guy who asked me about it. It's for a school project. He's finishing his degree, and apparently he wrote about lo-fi, and he had to do a concert. So he gathered all the talented lo-fi guys, and we did a small concert in Aarhus, and yeah, that was amazing too, just working with insanely talented rhythmic musicians this time, and just playing each other's tunes and lo-fi in that setting is actually very nice. Wow. So hopefully we'll do a lot more of that.
Did you have to rehearse a lot with them, or?
We did like 2 days.
Oh yeah.
2 days, and then we played the show. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said before, I've been knowing each other for 3 years now, and even though you're younger than me, I look upon you as my mentor and friend. Even though we've never met in person, we've chatted enough to get to know each other pretty well, with a common interest in music and lo-fi and composing goes. Are you settling into your new studio? Is what I wanted to ask.
Yeah. Well, now I've been living here since August last year. So the studio is pretty much set up. It's the studio is like a living organism. It's always evolving. And just recently, I got a new setup for my drums, and this winter I got an acoustic piano set up in here. I didn't think I had the space, but I just crammed it in here, and it's amazing. I've been using that so much.
Yeah, I think I saw a picture of that with the top down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bare bones. You can see the heart.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much settled. It's but
Good.
yeah, always evolving and changing up the stuff to.
Are you
to
still
get the creative juices flowing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are you still running Keyscape on your tunes, or do you use any other VST pianos?
Well, since I got the piano over here, it's I've been using that one basically
Really?
for all my piano recordings.
Wow.
So Keyscape is I still use Keyscape, and I think Keyscape is definitely has the best like realistic not upright sound, but Steinway piano kind of sound. It doesn't really have any good upright piano sounds, but the Rhodes and all those things, they're worth the worth the price 100%.
I think
so I've been using that a lot, yeah. But also
I love the Rhodes.
Recently I just started using the Arturia Rhodes, and previously I didn't like the sound, but I think the sound of the Keyscape Rhodes sounds way too familiar to me now. It sounds almost a bit tacky because I've used it so much, so I can recognize it in any track. So it's like when you overuse one particular sound. Yeah.
Because I must admit, I do recognize when I'm on a playlist listening, as I often do for hours and hours at night, I can recognize your piano sound quite quickly in my ears, So yeah, you're right, to get out of the comfort zone, yeah.
Yeah, I always try to experiment with new ways of breaking free from those from the box that I've made. Yeah,
there is no box.
Yeah.
I've got a friend here who uses VST pianos in his studios because he's a student at a music school, plus he also works retail. He used to work opposite me, actually, which is very strange because I never knew he was a musician until my friend that was the owner said, "Hey, he composes as well. What's going on? Meet each other." So we had a coffee, and he recorded in the school's studio with the VST pianos. I had no idea. I could hear the foot pedal noise, amazing. And I told him about it, and he says, "Oh, I didn't even realize that." That's getting pretty realistic now,
Yeah, it is, and the attention to details from the guys who are creating these VSTs, it's insane. I think some have hundreds of different microphone positions and floor mics, and they of course they mic every aspect of the piano, even when the strings start resonating when you pull down the pedal, and when you it's the attention to detail is getting pretty intense.
Yeah. Wow. Now I don't know, but in one of our conversations a while ago, you mentioned that you play by ear alongside, like I do. Is that still the case, or are you learning more notation now, or?
Nope. I'm
Good.
I'm still doing everything.
I don't feel so bad now.
I'm still doing everything by ear, and
Fantastic.
but yeah, it's been going great so far. So
I think it gives a lot of motivation to my listeners who perhaps are in the same boat as us, where they may not feel a little bit confident as somebody who can have a piece of music in front of them and go, right, let's go,
Yeah,
so that's really good to hear.
I'm not able to do that at all.
Wow.
I have to listen, but yeah, if you just try to play what you hear and just try to find it with your ears, and you'll start getting the hang of it, and when you practice that a lot, you almost don't even need notation because you can just play it by ear, but that requires that you have actually heard it. So if you're playing a piece with a band and you haven't heard it before, it's you have no chance of doing.
That's really flying by the seat of your pants, as they say. A lot of my audience would love to get inside your head and see what you'd be like to sit down with you in your workspace when you sit down and open your door, not that door, this door. What's the first thing you do and why? And then if you could take us on that creation process of yours, just a little bit of an insight, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think it really depends. It really depends on the day and what I feel like, because I don't want to have like a specific way of working every time. But obviously I tend to do some of the same things because I know that they work. I usually start either by finding a piano sound or jamming on the acoustic piano, and or I find inspiration in some kind of other in a different track that I've been listening to, and I try to maybe recreate a similar groove, or try to work out the chords and try to do a personal touch on that. Or try to build a groove, try to lay down a groove on the drums, or
you start off with the drums sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's
I can't do that. I've got to have some sort of melodic entrance to my compositions. Really? Yeah. I've never dragged out the drum VSTs or the bass, even though I'm a bass player. I never noodle around on the bass and then create a tune around that. Yeah, it's interesting then to say that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people that I collaborate with, just they've sent me just like a beat.
Right.
Oh, this is a groove, 80 BPM or something like that, and then I have to force myself to make chord progressions and melodies within that beat, and try to follow the kicks and try to follow the snares and maybe make a break with a so it's definitely something that I've been doing a lot, but it really depends.
I've got a joke from years ago where what's the worst thing that can happen in a band when the drummer puts his hand up and says, "I've got a song for you." How do you know when the drum riser is level? The drool comes out both sides of the mouth. Oh, that's terrible, huh? Us bass players and drummers have always been having jokes between each other. I got a mate I used to play with years ago up in Brisbane. He's still going in his blues band, still playing drums in his blues band. Great. I really envy him. But in some way, it's a bit restricting, but, it's nice to see that a lot of my mates are still up there and performing, It's cool. Like different when some people, they might be in bands when they're early on in their career, and they touch base with the bass player of their band, and they say, "Oh yes, I'm an architect now. I don't touch the bass guitar anymore."
Yeah, yeah, and for some people, it just lasts a lifetime. It's a lifestyle. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I think it's cool when you just keep it going, even though life happens.
Yeah. I think even Johnny Depp, people ask him the question, "Oh, you play guitar?" And he says, "Yes, actually, I've been playing since I was 4." But I must say, when I first saw him play guitar in that band, I thought, "Oh yeah, okay." Same with Keanu Reeves. I think it's Dogstar he was in. Keanu Reeves, I think it was the name of the band. Yeah, Dogstar, I think. But yeah, Keanu Reeves plays guitar too, I think. Yeah. Awkward silence. I got a question for you, my friend. Now, when you call on your muse, as they say, the muse.
The muse.
You know what the muse is, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course you do. I used to struggle a great deal with it, and until I found a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Yeah, it's getting quite popular now, but it releases the inner child within us to create more and to open that window of creativity by finding ways and tricks and motivations to open up that doorway of creativity. And I was just wondering about yourself with your muse. Do you have a muse? Is she a woman or a little boy, a little girl? Mine's a little girl actually that keeps kicking me in the shins.
I haven't really thought about it that like that
Yeah?
like a
An entity.
like an entity. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't really thought about it like that, but because I think inspiration takes form in a lot of different ways, and I think what's mostly inspiring me and pushing me to do that is actually the limitations that I set for myself. I think working within limitations really pushes my creativity. But I think it's a very individual thing. The muse, how it appears and what it looks like. For me, it's definitely coming forward when I put a lot of limitations on the creative process, like very like set rules, and then within those rules, a whole new world of ideas can come from. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you really like a structured entry point, and that way it opens up that door.
Yeah, because when you open up your door, you have infinite possibilities, and that can be very overwhelming at first if you stare at the blank canvas.
Yeah, like a writer staring at the blank typewriter.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same with producing music, because you have a blank canvas and you have infinite possibilities. So if you don't choose a direction, if you don't choose somewhere, you're just stare at the blank screen, and so I try to make some very specific limitations for myself. It could be time limitations. It can be instrumentation limitation. Say I can only use one instrument in this track. I can only use live grooves. I can only use So that's how I call upon the muse.
Yeah. She's a complicated what do you call it? A siren.
Yeah.
as they say. The siren of the sea calls their men to the depths of David Jones' locker. Now, you're doing a lot more of the live performance now. I've got a lot of listeners, and especially my younger listeners, not that many, but you know, it sounds good. All my thousands of listeners would like to know if you've got any tips or tricks to calm your nerves before a gig. And no, vodka is not one of the ones I'm looking for.
Oh, I was just about to. Yeah. No, I think when I was a bit younger and I started doing gigs, I've been playing in bands in the past probably 12 years, and doing concerts and doing performances like all the time. But I used to have a lot of nerves as well, but after probably 100 concerts or something like that, it just started slowly disappearing. And so it's about getting used to that. But also one thing I try to do when I'm preparing to go on stage is like being very aware of my breath, and just deep breath, like, and just, you know, and
just
really
keep breathing,
trying to keep breathing, and just trying to be very very
mindful of that,
mindful and present, and just thinking about how you can make this the best show for the audience as possible. Trying to really push that out, and being very, very mindful and about what you're doing, instead of getting caught up. It's because when you start getting the nerves and start thinking about the nerves you have, it's a downward spiral. You'll just be more nervous about being nervous. So it's about accepting that you are nervous, and then being mindful about it.
I was in a band years ago, and we used to rehearse in the dark with candles and incense, so it has that sort of stagey presence. When we go on stage, we'd have an incense burner beside the stage, and you know, a little ritual we had out the back, we'd all hold hands and go, yeah, come on, let's go, you know. Like we were doing a big rock stage, and there'd be 3 people in the public bar, you know. Come on, man, get into it.
Cool.
Now, as you have personally millions of people listening to your music day in, day out, you must get a lot of messages from fans asking you all sorts of questions. What would be one of the weirdest questions you've ever been asked?
I'm not sure actually, but it's funny. Even though I have millions of people listening, but they're mostly passive listeners. So that means it's not even that many people.
Really?
Who writes a text? Yeah, it's actually.
Wow, I would have thought there'd be thousands.
It's actually.
Really?
It's
wow,
actually,
that's actually blown me away. I never knew that.
It's because the instrumental beat genre is a very passive listening experience. So obviously that's not gonna be. Right. You won't have that much active fan engagement, and most of my fans are actually other people in the community. So it's usually very music related questions you get. How did you make that? How did you release that? How did you deal with that? And how? So it's mostly other music producers who are reaching out.
I see.
So I don't even think I can think of any weird questions I've had. It's all been very relevant actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now it's sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, but yeah, but it is a very very passive listening experience for this type of genre. Yeah.
So, I was just going to say, okay. So, how do you handle the social media right now with all the success you've had? Have you embraced TikTok at all? I checked out your TikTok page. Doesn't seem to be a lot there, but maybe there's more action behind the scenes than I could see.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well. I did meddle a little bit with TikTok, but yeah, I think one social media is enough work for me besides the actual work of making music.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and Instagram is just such a great platform to connect and to
absolutely
and to share the process. But I've been basically neglecting making content for the past couple of months because I've been so focused on actually making music and doing all the concerts. So it's been very limited to just chatting with people and consuming others' content, I think.
Yeah. Now, I downloaded that Slowfi keys when you offered it on your link tree. And as I mentioned, I created about 15 melodies from those snippets, I remember asking you if it was okay to release them. And you said, yeah, sure. And I said, are you sure? And you said, yeah, man, no problem. So I was really grateful for that because it put me on a path of creating my own melodies, as you said to me, just sitting down, playing some chords, trying to work out something rather than just pulling a loop in. It's much more gratifying to actually, and easier, really, it turns out in the end, to work on your own creations, of course. Yeah.
And you'll have a way more personal sound instead of just using other people's loops. It's a I'm happy you found the loops useful.
Well, it's been great chatting to you, and thanks for your little snippets of information and really some stuff that I never knew about. So that's really good. And of course, my listeners will be getting something out of it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
thanks.
It was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, really
amazing.
Appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Of course.
All right, buddy. High five.
How are we going to do this?
I was interviewing Kilroy yesterday, and he's going, hey, yeah, what the? Yeah, there you go. Massage it, man, massage it. Boom. All right, buddy. Lovely to see you again. First time.
You too.
All right, take it easy, huh? See ya.
See ya.